Hello everybody, welcome back to another game of HomeStoryCup. We're headed into Group C and it's a team kill between Liquid's Elazer and, on the other side of the map, we have Liquid Clem for some ZVT action. I believe this was the first matchup of the group. Both of these players, of course, pretty darn good at the game. So, interesting to see what they will do. Both part of Team Liquid, so perhaps they practice together once in a while. Also both from the EU continent, so the time zones do work in their favor in that way. For now we see standard, bog standard. Gonna see if Clem is going into a Reaper, maybe a Reactor first, or maybe a cheeky Factory with a Marine. The other side we have, well, the only build you can really do with Zerg, aside from Pool first, but this is indeed Hatch first. Overlord chilling, making sure that if Marines walk up to his base that he knows it's happening. We have indeed a Reaper, and this Overlord will soon scout that there is indeed a command center on its way. There's still only one gas. Supply depot going down. Gas is being mined. Keep a close eye on if there will be more than 100 gas mined. I would be surprised, but he could elect to mine a little more and go into that Roach Warren. Still no second gas, but there is a factory. Let's see if he goes for a super fast third command center. Because this would be the way to do it. Third base is being denied by this cheeky SEV. This drone has to retreat. Oh, and it actually dies. Damn, Clem gets a drone. You don't see that every CVT. Usually you just see a couple of red Zerglings and that's about it. Clem's Reapers are indeed scary. But now the Queens are out and there is a third hatch over here. So Clem might think that he denied the third base, but actually it's just in a different position. And indeed there is a third command center indicated by this late second gas. And there is a Reactor, one Marine. And this Reaper's kind of scouting around, seeing that there's no additional gas being mined. Elazer did mine a couple extra trips, probably busy, saving all of his drones from death. Starport underway, so it's the 1-1-1 with 3 command center. Still only one gas, so second gas over here. So pretty darn economical and tech heavy by Clem. So he really needs to do his scouting with this Reaper, because if there's any cheeky all-in happening for Elazer, it's probably going to be successful. If there was a Nidus build going on right now, like the lair would be halfway done, and Clem would be halfway to the grave. But right now, he's safe to do this relatively greedy build. Ooh, 2 Hellions and a Reaper trying to get something done here. Grenade does get the Queen out of its way, but Clem sees those cheeky Zerglings, and he's like, well, if there's more Zerglings on the ramp, then I just lose all of my units for free, so we're not going to do that. Cloak and a Banshee underway. Whilst we have Elazer just droning up and trying to spread his creep. Trying to connect his bases, but Clem is not letting him. So annoying. We've already seen 2 creepdomers die in vain trying to connect these bases. Clem really knows how to be annoying. Let's see if he's making more barracks, so it's indeed going to be bio play. And he's actually waiting for Cloak to finish and a second Banshee to come out, so 2 Banshees do one-shot drones. So that's a lot more lethal if suddenly 2 Banshees show up with Cloak and you have no spores. That's a lot of dead drones, but we do see 1 spore, 2 spore, 3 Spore being added on. He, of course, knows that there's a bunch of Hellions. And although he doesn't know that there's a starport, he can kind of guess from seeing this many Hellions and nothing else. So Clem is doing a pretty good job of keeping the creep back here. Like, he's consistently just camping this spot. And Elazer has had a pretty tough time getting his creep out there. Another creep tumor being cancelled. Another creep tumor being cancelled. Clem doing a really good job of keeping the creep out of here. He probably wants to push later into this area if he's putting such a heavy emphasis on this. Now he has the Banshees here, and he is actually going for queen kills. 1 queen already died. 2 queens down. 3 queens. No? Yes? 3 queens down. There's no detection here. Overseer's now here. 4th queen. Yes, he does get it for the price of 1 Banshee. The Hellions try to run by, but there's so many Lings. Elazer's ready for this. He says, no, 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 Clement. You're not getting through. The other side of the map, we do have 3rd base being saturated by Clem. He's up to 5 gases right now. Double upgrades going. Extra factory being added on for those Widow Mines. And he's rallying in with a pack of Marines already. Really trying to slow Elazer down. Elazer has saturated 4 bases and is now starting his upgrades. So a little bit of lacking behind Clem in that department. We'll see if he can hold on until his upgrades also finish. And then he just has an economic lead. So Clem pushing into this lower side of Gresvan, which is very abusable by Terran siege units, as we saw in the Solar versus Hero Marine game. Ooh, hot pickup. Oh! Very nice Widowmine hit. That's probably worth it. And of course, he's slowing the Zerg down. Again, stopping the creep down here. This creep never got past this base. That's so crazy. And now Clem is putting on so much pressure that it's hard for Elazer to keep up creep spreading. Like over here, and over here, and over here, whilst expanding. You know, he's really taxing Elazer's APM. And as soon as you stop putting your, your pedal to the metal, Clem is there to clear your creep. Now he's pushing here on the south side, whilst also dropping into your main. But Elazer does have some Hydras to maybe catch those medevacs. And here we see again, this creep isn't as far out, so Elazer just didn't see it coming until he was already on his creep. And now he's pushing into the 5th base and also into the 4th base. Drones have to be evacuated. Queens and Lynx are here to defend, but on the other side of the map, hot pickup and he's gone. Now he's in your main, killing your dudes. He's just parade pushing right now. He's pushing you in the main, he's pushing you in the front, and he's pushing you in the south. I would be amazed if Elazer can hold on. He has his forces spread out relatively well, but he's in your 4th base again. Queens are about to fall, and again, your creep spread is gone, or it's littered with Widow Mines. South side has been defended. Oh, these Widow Mines? Oh, all these Banelings bite to dust. Oof. A lot of Ling Bane just fell to these Widow Mines, not for free, but still taking ineffective trades. And he does have 1-1, but he hasn't started 2-2. Elazer is really being taxed by Clement's rapid-fire actions. PF on the way to secure the 4th base and potential 5th later. Really like this expansion pattern. Sensor Tower on the way to assert dominance. And now, again, we see another next rally push on the bottom side whilst pushing into the middle. Never just doing one move. Really showing what he's made of. And the 5th base falls without any resistance. And as you can see, his bases are barely connected. He has to go all the way around here to defend his 5th base because the creep just isn't that far out. Clem has been doing a really, really good job of denying his opponents the creep threat, and you see here now Elazer feels forced to attack off of creep, And my mans, that is not fun. If you're a Zerg player, you never want to see yourself pushing off creep if you don't have fungal, or at least some type of anchor like a lurker count. Another creep queen bites the dust, but he does have a couple tumors here. Good job by Elazer. So, you know, the most annoying point for Zerg to deal with on this map does have some creep. So, actually getting into the nice underbelly of the Terran army here before he gets time to set up. Really nice by Elazer. Clem is being pushed back, but he also has a really good staging point here where there is no creep at all. Elazer is trying to take this as a 5th base, but perhaps he should try and take a different base, because this bottom base is just really hard for him to reach with his army, because there is no creep connecting. Oh, nice around hot pickup though. And now he boosts into your 4th base. What are you? Ooh, no, 3rd base actually. So now you have 2 medevacs over here, you have scan over here. Clem actually suspects that there should be a base here, but there isn't. So now we see +3 attack actually starting for Clem, whilst +2 Carapace has just started for Elazer. Really being taxed with this Clem with the bio play and the mines everywhere. He's just desperately trying to get out this lurker force, which can kind of help him anchor his 5th base somewhere. If only he can buy enough time. And meanwhile, we already have a 5th base. We have an extra orbital being built just for the mules and the scans. And we have 3 widow mines and also drilling claws. So the Clem is really drilling into Elazer here. Elazer just can't get a 5th base because of this relentless Clem aggression. Now there is a nice Nidus Worm. I love this choice. Nidus and Lurkers are actually crazy. If you get a Nidus Worm into the main and you siege the top of the ramp, no Bioforce is ever getting in. He needs to Doom Drop his own main if that happens. But obviously that is kind of a Hail Mary play. Nice transfuses on the Lurkers. Lurkers actually are pretty tanky, especially when burrowed. And now you see it again, trying to fight off creep, but now he does have this Lurker anchor, so he can actually try and take these fights. Elazer has been stuck on his own creep for the entirety of this game, basically. We haven't seen him cross the middle of the map ever since that Hellion Banshee started killing his queens and killing his creep. But now he is pulling the trigger, walking across the map with a bunch of Lurkers. 12 Lurkers on the map. And now he's abusing the same position that Terrans like to abuse with his siege units. But there's a bunch of ghosts on the map already. 8 ghosts! We do have Zerglings. I don't know if the Crackling upgrade is here. But they only have +1 melee attack. He's trying to siege the Terran with this position, but he just doesn't have anything to buffer for these Lurkers. Now the Zerglings do come over to buffer, and as you can see, there's a Nidus over here just trying to make him scared, and now there's a Nidus in the main, and while Clem does have to deal with this, and somehow Elazer manages to run into the 3rd base and get a bunch of kills. As you can see, Widow Mines are not very effective against the Lurkers. Snipes on those Lurkers though, and now there are like 5 hiders in the main randomly. He probably didn't expect it to do a whole lot since, you know, Clem can actually see it and wasn't really dealing with any of these run-bys. But damn, just these random Lurkers. Really annoying. Elazer fighting back. He knew his timing. He's like, okay, my creep is not very good, but as soon as I have Lurkers, I can actually fight off creep. And then he uses the Nidus in his extra vision to actually do multi-prong attack. The thing that Clem was doing to him the entirety of the game, really. He's really fighting back here. Impressive by Elazer. But his upgrades are still kind of lacking, so we see Clem here up in supply, a lot of ghosts, and up in upgrades. So if they have a fight off creep here, I think it really will favor Clement. Oh, really nice targeting on those Lurkers, but as you can see, these Lurkers are really anchoring the fights. And even though Clem does have an extra orbital for those scans. There's still this one lurker over here, another lurker over here, and Nidus in the main with another lurker. Elazer being so annoying. How can you deal with this? 5 minutes ago, I was telling you how annoying Clem was, but now it's Elazer. He's in the driver's seat with all this harass. Like, guys, go into the ladder and try to do this to your Terran opponents. See how they like it. Another PF being built. Really good building. And now we have these cracklings running in. Elazer is just on full steam in it mode. He's just shipping it. No more upgrades, just units, units, units. I've got 80 drones. I just gotta keep you on your side of the map. That's the way I think I'll win. 4 Widow Mines that weren't cleared yet. Getting a lot of value here. Clem is just still trying to deal with these lurkers. There's another one! In between the natural and the main. This Nidus still hasn't been cleared. Another lurker? My god, Elazer, you are sicko mode. Another small attacker into the third. Elazer being so scrappy with it. Meanwhile, though, Clem is building a high-tech army of a lot of ghosts. Liberators being added in as well, slowly. There's a high matter fact count, so he doesn't have to invest into that anymore. But there's just a low bio count right now because they're just getting cleaned up by the lurkers. We actually see 33 workers falling on Clem's side. These lurkers are even trying to kill an orbital. Holy moly, he's taxing Clem's APM right now. Elazer's like, I can do this trick too. Just give me a moment and I'll show you. Clem does have a lot of bases, so if he just drops the Mule Hammer. He's literally attacking with ghosts and medevacs. When do you ever see a game where the Terran is like, nah, dude, Marines? I don't need those. I just need 16 ghosts. Oh my god. And he has +3 armor on the way, and then he has 3/3 Marines. Or bio and oh my god! Oh, friendly fire on all of your ghosts. Ghosts are really expensive, guys, and he just keeps building ghosts. He's like, nah, Marines, not my style. And I think it's a really good choice versus the very tech-heavy army of Elazer. Because he just was mostly relying on those Hydra lurkers with a little bit of Zergling buffer. Almost no banelings to see, which are, of course, the natural enemy of the Ghost. Even dealing with those Vipers. And Elazer taps out. GG, he just didn't have the mining anymore. As you can see on the minimap here, he had a really hard time establishing a 5th base. He was probably, like, running on fumes for the last couple minutes. Ooh, Jesus, I can't believe that. After all was said and done, Elazer couldn't quite make it happen. What a high-octane game. And we're heading into game number 2 of this best of 3 between Clem and Elazer. Onto Royal Blood. The first game on Gresvan was pretty sick. I'm loving that map for ZVT right now. The map layout really speaks to how these players probably should be playing. And we really saw how they were both trying to abuse certain parts of the map terrain. And honestly, I was kind of surprised when Elazer tapped out, but he was really completely gassed out. He was probably not mining from his main, not mining from his natural, barely mining from his 3rd base, and he was still struggling to get up a 5th base, whilst Clem was just comfortably on 5, 6 bases with a bunch of orbitals. So even though he lost 30 SCVs at some point, he could just mule hammer down and make a couple extra SCVs from his 8 command centers. You know, he was making more SCVs than Marines at some point. So I hope that we get a very similar game, but that Elazer manages to actually secure his economy as well, and that we just get another one of this, like another epic APM intensive knife fight between these guys. Because that was really back and forth until, in the end, Clem made Elazer trip over, and he had to make a lot of difficult mistakes of delaying his upgrades to really get his army size up so that he could actually try and do a counteroffensive, which he did manage to do, but he couldn't quite break Clem or do enough damage, even though he did quite a bit. So this is looking like a pretty similar build from both players right now. No second gas for Clem, so if that doesn't get added on soon, we'll probably throw down the third command center and go for a nice macro game. We do see this SCV scouting the natural, so there's no proxy hatch shenaniganry going on, or just a pull first. He does not want to get tricked this time again, so he's not using the SCV to block one of the third bases. The Reaper will do all of the scouting. A little bit of damage on one Zergling, or all of the Zerglings in one drone. Probably not much is going to happen. Oh, nope, nope. Nope, nothing happens. And there is a crazy gold base well, not proxy, hidden base by Elazer. Hello? He didn't put it behind, so he probably wants the gas. But Clem is like, where's your third base? I threw down mine. Where's yours? There's an SCV over here chilling, and there's a hidden starport. Hello? Hidden starport, hidden base. Basically, one screen away from each other. Totally bonkers. So now, we're going to see what will happen. It's a little bit easier for Clem to deny all the scouting than it is for Elazer, but Elazer probably will try. He has his Zerglings ready to capture this Reaper. And these queens are on the hunt. Other side of the map, we have a pretty similar build by Clem again. 3rd CC, gas on the low ground, but this time his starport is a little misplaced. I don't know what he's doing over there, but this tac lab, maybe he will either start stim or put a second factory there and actually start like siege stack production, and then I don't know. It is actually going to be bio with tanks, and there will be a medevac for a cheeky Hellion drop. So let us see if Clem actually knows that this is going on. He has no idea. So we have this 4 Hellion drop heading into the main. Zergling scouting around, and he doesn't see a starport. So, this is taking Elazer completely by surprise. But there's roaches on the way. 2 drone kills, only 2? What the hell? How is it only 2? Elazer with the sickest body blocks, like his roaches completed at the most opportune time. And this starport is actually going where no Terran has gone before, scouting at the gold base. And Elazer, it looks like he's pulling the trigger. I don't even understand why he took this base, and now he's just going all in. He scouted this fast third base, and he was, wait a minute, you're not doing that again. So kind of a reactive all in, perhaps. He's on 43 drones, so he can definitely transition, but he's trying to get some damage done. He has a lot of lings here, one Ravager. Cyclone very low HP, so it can barely get any shots off before it needs to be hop pick up again and again and again. And we just lost 9 SCVs on the side of Clem. Second Ravager being morphed on 5 HP. But is it going to matter and actually get damage done? Oh. Damn. 11 SCVs got killed, and Elazer was able to partially saturate that gold base. So maybe he can now go for a second wave. And this third base is optimistic in my eyes. Let's see if Elazer agrees with that. Ooh, these Ravagers do get taken out. And Elazer barely doesn't see that third base. But Clem does see this third base. Now what? There's not even a fourth... Oh, never mind. There's a fourth base being taken. Double Evo chamber being put down. 4 gases are being plomped down. So Elazer's actually going to head into more of a macro game here. Where it's all on Clem now. It's like, well, I have a gold base and you don't. What are you going to do about it? 2 more racks are being thrown down, and the starport was flown home and has now a reactor being, or has already received a reactor for these medevacs. And we have one medevac, so that is the moment where Clem can now move out, because he can do the hop pickup. So we do have a really interesting creep spread near your 4th base, basically, for Clem. So that is an awkward position, I would wager. We have another base for Elazer going down. He's connecting his bases with other bases. I don't need queens to creep spread. I just use hatcheries. Just build another one over here. Just do it. He's like, I have so much mineral income from this gold base. I'm gonna take all the hatcheries. I'm gonna build all the hatcheries and just go pure Lingbane. You know, these are just macro hatcheries, really. So we have Clem kind of trying to do what he did last game with some, you know, more multiplying harass, but Elazer did a pretty good job of thinning out the Clem's unit count, and he's put him on the defensive by doing that. He's showing a bunch of roaches, and now Clem is like, well, you have a gold base, so you might want to try and do like more of a timing attack on me. So he's being more defensive with these tanks instead of the more aggressive and mobile Widow Mines. Oh, he gets a nice bile hit on a free marine there. Could have been way worse. And the Ravagers are quite nice for this, because if you can't get Baneling connections because of the crazy good control these Terrans have nowadays, then at least you get the Ravager shots off, because they have good range. And on the back here, you do see Baneling Nest being added in, so there will be Ling Bane eventually for the bigger marine counts. Elazer almost connecting his bases here, doing a nice counterattack to this wall. He killed an SCV-2 even that were on the wrong side of this wall, not even stimming. Clem is cool, calm, and collected. Oh, that's a lot of Ravagers we have here, boys. We have 10 Ravagers on the map. And Ravagers are pretty good against low tank counts, because they just walk up, take like one shot, bile them down, and walk away. But he is off creep, so Clem is like, fight me. And as long as he doesn't get gulped by all these corrosive biles from the Ravagers, he should be good. And yes, Clem chases him out of his territory. He's like, nope, this is mine. Get back onto creep, little Zerg. Elazer just planning counterattack part 2. Ooh, moves up to this ramp a little bit. Euphorically. Oh, and this seems like a pretty hard position to fight into for Elazer. But he's pulling the trigger. He knows, if I give Clem this position, then I won't be able to get anything. Baneling's moving into the 3rd, getting 10 SCVs, 11 SCVs. And a Marine for their trouble. Some Lynx straggling here. And as you can see, there's no creep here, so now there's a really good siege tank position for Elazer. But he did a good job of thinning out this army count by taking an early fight. It wasn't the most beneficial fight for Elazer, but at least it was better than letting Clem get that position for free. And now he's really focusing the tanks. Really good engagement by Elazer, actually. Getting some Elazer Zerglings on top of these siege tanks, and also using the corrosive biles to thin out the siege tank count. Actually hitting the medevacs, and Clem just GG's out. He's like, I can't take a 4th base. I just lost a bunch of SCVs in my 3rd base. And he just couldn't hold on, and he GG'd out. He's like, get me out. And as easy as that, Elazer taking that gold base and like 2 extra bases, having a lot of mineral income, as you can see. 3 arrows. And now we're 1-1. Getting into the final game of Clem versus Elazer, HomeStoryCup 23, Group C. We have these 2 gifted liquid players that have been beating the ever-living crap out of each other in the last 2 games. We saw Clem go for 2 pretty similar openers, but then divvying into a different unit composition. Both bio, but the first game he was really banking on that Hellion Banshee to get the creep spread in his favor, so not a lot of creep spread. And then transitioning into bio mine, and putting on continuous pressure, whereas in the second game he was doing a more push-oriented opener, where sure he had a little bit of Hellions running around, but he did a cheeky drop, trying to get a lot of damage done. He didn't really get any damage done, and he allowed Elazer a gold base that went unscouted for quite a bit until the starport actually scouted it by accident. And then there was this nice roach attack by Elazer that didn't do game-ending damage, but it did reset the tank count a little bit, but mostly it thinned out the bio. It forced Clem to make a cyclone. Like, it put him on the defense or on the defense because, you know, now he knew there's a gold base, it's near my base, there's creep highway to my base, there's roaches, ravagers, lings, and he was afraid. Clem was like, well, I have this third because I know my micro's sick, but I don't want to move out because then I might get surrounded and killed. So he was kind of stuck in his base, and Elazer was like, taking a fourth, taking a fifth, getting my creep spread, getting my drones, getting me upgrades, and I'll just kill you when I feel like it. And then as soon as Clem did try to push with this tank count, which was pretty high, Elazer did a really good job of landing his biles. And sure, he was losing units for it, but he was like, well, if your tank count is too low, then my reinforcing Ling, Roach, Ravager will be able to clean it up. He's already cleaning up this path to the third base, not like Dark, just taking it right away. Let's see if we lose a Ling here. Nope, he actually cancelled the attack. That was going to kill that Ling, I think. Oh, one Ling. GG. Killed the Ling. No drones being lost, though, so it should be fine. The other side of the map, we have, again for Clement, the third base. So similar opener. There's just one Marine again patrolling to make sure that the scouting isn't free. We're going to see Hellions once again. Let's see what Elazer thinks about that. But yeah, we'll go into another game that's pretty similar to that. Just getting the Hunter Gas for the speed, getting his third base up, which is quite tricky because he just opened up this pathway for a different third base. But maybe he just wanted the gold minerals and he like counted that, well, if I mine these minerals, it's slightly more efficient than the blue minerals. I don't know this, but comment down below if you do know if it is more efficient, yes or no. Because that would be a sick optimization. Would also be pretty funny if Hellions ran in here, so this Queen is now naturally plugging it up. And of course he did give himself the option to take either third base. So if there was a random NG bay here, you could actually just take this as his third base. We do see the Hellions again and the Banshee again, but no Cloak this time, so... Oh, now that I say it, there's Cloak, there is a Banshee, he's rallying it in his base, so he's planning to bank the Banshees up again and get a 2 Banshee Cloak plus Hellion timing again, so completely reverting back to what he did game 1. Curious to see if he's also going to go back into that bio-mine, hyper-aggressive, push in 2 or 3 places with medevacs all at once, abusing Elazer's late Hydra transition. But this game, it does seem like the creep is out a little further than that game before. Elazer did take a slightly less optimal third in the first game, which Clem could punish quite heavily, as we saw. Although Elazer did not go down without a fight, we can say that much. I'm loving this creep spread though. And he will take this creep if he can get it, but he doesn't want his queens over here, because then Hellions will run by, and his link count isn't quite there yet. Oh, he was going for a cheeky surround. And again, 3 spores on its way. He probably hasn't even seen the starport yet. Oh, nope, hasn't seen anything, but he just knows. Like, if there's Hellions, and I haven't seen anything else, I just throw down the spore crawlers. 4th base underway for Elazer. He has a nice queen count protecting his bases. Oh, he actually gets a nice target on that Hellion. The 2 Banshees are here, but now the Overseers are also here, so taking a lot less damage than last time. 4 queens over here as well. They do get shot at, but shouldn't lose any. Probably won't lose this 4th base either. And a 5th base on their way. Elazer really cranking these bases out. He's like, well, even if you do a surprising push and you kill one of these bases, I love the other one as well. Also have the larva, feels good, and a staging point to get more creep underway. More bases, just more better. Who would have thought? Ooh, Clem is actually going into the tanks. So, no Widow Mines just yet. We see 1 tank. And 2 Medivacs underway, and Stim is about to finish. So, I think we're going to see a push as soon as that happens. No armory for Hellbats. And I am loving the creep this game for Elazer, actually. So hard to clear the creep with these rocks and this slow field. You kind of don't want to get caught up being there as either of the players. So we do have that push with the Banshees. And Elazer is setting up to defend this base, but let's see if he abandons it at some point. He does have really good creep here, so I feel like he could defend this, and he has a lot of queens. 4 queens here, 4 more queens down there. Clem, well, he's trying to clear a little bit of this creep, but Elazer's like, nope. Get on my creep. We do not see a 4th CC. Nope, we see it going down right now, so Clem is looking for a little bit of a longer game, not going to all-in push Elazer this game. Throws down the armory, 4th CC, bunch of upgrades. We're gonna be here for a little while longer. Clem does have really nice vision with these Zelnagas. And these Zelnagas do give you a lot of map control because the middle of the map is so annoying. Because of all those rocks. Really makes you think if one of these players, probably Elazer, should have cut down at least one of these rocks. Oh, I love this Zergling. Cheeky Zergling giving vision for this creep tumor, and this Reaper actually denying the creep tumors here. They both know that the creep is hard to spread through the rocks there. Oh, that's a big counterattack to kill 1 Reaper. This push slowly but surely leapfrogging in with only 2 tanks, but he is off creep now. Oh, nice targeting on the Banes. Oh, kind of running into the Marine Corps there. Losing a bunch of Ling Bane. But the tanks have been cleared up, and he has enough creep to fall back onto and not really lose a base or anything. He did manage to mine all those gold minerals. Oh, he's targeting it down. And he targeted down the 4th base, and now he's really happy that he still has that 5th base. Now the Hellbats are here. Where are your Banelings? We don't have a lot of Banelings for this. So Zerglings will have to tank for the Hydras and the Banes to do the damage that is needed. Queens on the top with can't transfuse anymore. He's losing those queens essentially for free. Oh, if only he could transfuse, it would actually tank a lot of tank shots, but that is not the case. And now we have Elazer up against the ropes. He's doing a counterattack here with his Lings, but Clem is actually kind of in his natural right now. That is awkward, you know, at the least. We have these Zerglings doing a good job of counterattacking, but Medivacs are good units, and the Marines only die because of the friendly fire. Friendly fire actually helping Elazer out here a little bit. We need an Overseer to clear these out, though, and he does manage to repel Clem's attack. But look at all the creep that has been cleared. He does have this lucky other 5th base, or 4th base, which is not lucky. It's pure skill. He put it down real early, knowing that this would be an option. And early he had enough map control to do it. And if you would try to take a 5th base now, Clem would just say no. But again, he's just pushing into your into your natural, and that is awkward. Oh, Link's trickling in, trying to clear the mines, but they just die slightly too fast to these Marines with Stim and +1 to trigger the mines, so it's really hard for Elazer to engage. Now he can finally engage. I'll pick up, no. And he gets the mines again, but now he has to engage off of the creep to really get Clem out of here. Ooh, these Hydras did manage to clear the mines and also a couple medevacs. So really, maybe overextending a bit, but it's not that many Marines. But now there's reinforcements. Can you fight here, Elazer? Oh, that doesn't seem all that good. But he just wanted to buy some time for this Baneling run by. Because if Clem is microing this, he can't look at the Banelings trying to kill all of his SCVs. But now he needs to run back onto creep, losing one Hydra, two. Only one Hydra for that. But now, this area is so annoying. Clem just relentlessly, it's like a kickboxer kicking you in the shins again and again and again. Like, as soon as you show a little bit of weakness, they will keep kicking you. And that is exactly what is happening to Elazer here. The Overseers keep dying and the mines keep getting extra shots. He just needs to push him back off a creep. It's hard to do, and now there is actually a push coming up with Liberators, Mines, and Marauders being added up into the mix, running towards the slow field, knowing that it favors Clem a lot more than it favors Elazer because it doesn't affect attack speed, it only affects movement speed, so it really favors ranged units. And of course, the Zerg units really being more melee focused. He has this 5th base in the front, but hasn't really been able to mine from it. Really looking similar story to game 1 here, where Clem just finds a position where he can keep denying the creep and just pressing onto that weak spot and just, you know, boot on the neck and just keep pressing down and down and down until you hear a snap. And now he has a 2-pronged pincer attack on this 5th base, doing the hot pickup once again. The base falls, getting nice value onto his Widow Mines and his Hellbats. Although he is on creep, nice Baneling connection, but no Marines die. A couple more Marines die to this traitor Widow Mine. But again, there is no detection. We have 1 mine, 2 mine, 3 mine. Oh, so annoying to deal with for a Zerg player. Look at this, another Widow Mine, another Widow Mine. This is something you don't want to see. It takes so much APM to really kill these units without losing a bunch of units. We have this, another Widow Mine. Oh, shit. Lost a lot of Hydra, softened him up. And now he's like, oh, I'm under attack. Oh, another bunch of Zerglings die. And the Elazer's like, get me out. As soon as your whole creep in your area is covered with Widow Mines, and they're pretty hard to see on creep, honestly, you know that you're on the way out, actually. And, well, Elazer just had to call it there, although he was pretty well on... Oh, never mind. Clem had a lot of workers, had his 5th base established, and, well, Elazer just couldn't really get off his creep this game. And Clem takes the 2-1 lead as one of the favorites to win this Group C. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that cast. These guys were playing some sick ZVT. Really, you know, I feel like they could have both won almost every map. They were really neck and neck. But Clem ends up taking the dub. I hope that we'll see more of Elazer soon. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.